PA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Santa Clara. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Allen looking to throw it right at the outset. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
To the air, Allen. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The end result, 21 yards.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the first down.
Now Allen. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
Here's Allen to throw it. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Now a first and 10 at the 11. Here's Allen. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Josh Allen taking it in from 11 yards out. And the 49ers put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead.
If you're going to play quarterback in the NFL, you've got to have great vision, and you've got to remain calm when things break down in the pocket. Both of those traits were on display there. He surveys the situation, sees the middle of the field open, so he's just going to step up and take it himself. Very well done there.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Past midfield. Still going. One man to beat. And he will score. Touchdown, Chiefs. Well, there you go. They gave up a score to start the game, and as quick as they could get it back, they did on the return.
And people talk about this all the time, whether you're coaching it, whether you're trying to work on it, whether you're just trying to put in the minds of your players. Attack back as fast as you can after giving up a score. No quicker way than on a kick return.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Well, same target, same result. It's Kittle. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
These two teams all tied after one. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. To throw, it's Allen. Connects with Kittle underneath. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 38 now, here's 2nd down and 3. Working out of the shotgun, here's Allen to Jefferson on the slant. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 21. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
This 2nd and 4. Allen now looks to throw. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Ayuk goes in motion. Allen. That is caught. And the Niners are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able.
And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Christian McCaffrey taking it in from 7 yards away. And the 49ers have now taken the lead.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9 yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And able to get this out to the 25. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Got a man. It's Brown. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Throwing now is Mahomes. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Mahomes to throw once more. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Now Mahomes. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, 47 yards. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the 1st half. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half. And they've got a little over 40 seconds to work with if they want to try to put something together. Ayuk going to go in motion right. Allen going to throw. Connects with Kittle underneath. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. San Francisco's offense returns to the field, and they'll have a little bit of time to work with. 35 seconds until the break. Now 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Allen. Again to the big tight end, George Kittle. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Allen. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. And again, it's Allen. A quick throw there is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Back to throw again. Now throw right side here going to be incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
2nd and 10. To the air, Allen. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as he'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, this from 53. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they take a 17-14 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Chiefs going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. And with Mahomes under center, anything's possible. Watch out for the deep ball. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Final shot before the half for Mahomes. He's going deep for Brown. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the 3rd quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the 2nd half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the 3rd quarter.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Now here's Mahomes. Out route, and it's complete to Brown. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, it's Pacheco. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Here's the Chiefs punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. Now Allen. He's got this complete to Ayuk on the out route. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle.
And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run. Can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. That's caught by Ayuk on the slant. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Here's Allen to throw it. Looking for the out route. He's got it. Complete to Kittle. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 24-yard line.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Here's Allen. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Allen now looks to throw. They'll find Ayuk open right side. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
Behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Allen. Complete. Jefferson to target. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. To throw, it's Allen. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness.
Touchdown 49ers! George Kittle from 3 yards out. And the Niners will add to their fourth quarter lead. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And now here comes Kansas City. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. And that pick 6, that was the first turnover forced by the defense in this ballgame, CD.
And what's even better is when they finally forced one, they kept the effort up and were able to return it for a score. They could hear their defensive coaches saying to them, hey, getting the interception's great. Can you do more with it? Turn it into a big play. And they did exactly that.
Moody good with the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And that last pick 6 may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the fourth quarter. They need points quickly. Now Mahomes to try again after the pick six. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Mahomes going to throw. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. They go right back to him for 20 and a first. A three-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
And the first down, Chiefs.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. With Nick Bosa so quick on the outside, he gets in there to bring him down.
The one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. To throw, it's Mahomes. Open man here. It's the tight end, Kelsey. A heck of a play there on third down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. A.J. Brown from 17 yards out. And the Chiefs have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And it's the 49ers who recover it, and that ought to just about do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that.
Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey.
And he will have a Niners first down, and that ought to be the one that seals the victory.
Allen down to a knee, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
But Charles, a very simple mission anytime that you play on your home turf, and that is to defend your home turf, and today that mission was accomplished.
Look, every offseason, every preseason, the head coach goes in front of the team and says, the mission for the season, defend our home field every time, split on the road, and we'll be in the playoffs. That's why defending the home field is vital.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.